We are live, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful day here it is in Costa Rica. I'm very, very excited, well, just to be here with you all at any given moment. What a privilege, what a miracle this whole experience is. To have even a glimpse and a Okay, well, we're going to look at Bitcoin anyways, and we're going to take a look at Ethereum today. And just for fun, we're going to take a look at the end of the show. Stick around for some of the other trades we were doing with the private bear den. With that in mind, let's just go ahead and pretty much just dive right into what today's going to look like. So, boom, we have Bitcoin open on the 5-minute chart. That's how you know things are getting crazy when I'm looking at the multiple minute charts, right? Okay, but let's go back out to the daily. Let's take a grasp on where we are on the weekly even. Yeah, that's probably a good way to do it. Just take a sentiment as a conjecture as a whole. Okay, so we're making we're in a pretty important area here right now. Now, I really want to stress to everyone that money's not the most important thing in life. Make sure you tell your family that you love them. You know, if you have like the important, special people in your life, go down that direction. Help the people you can. It makes a big difference. But anyways, now that we've got some of the most important things out of the way, let's dive right into this. So on the weekly here, we're actually seeing a nice break into the previous areas of resistance, which we had back from 2018 and back into August 2019 as well here, around $11,700. Now, there's kind of a blue sky breakout potential here that could take place, but I do suspect we're going to see a retracement. Not a big one, probably just a test of the daily Wyckoff reaccumulation. Now, we might not actually come down that low. One of the things I wanted to point out here is this. The EU leaders agree on a massive $750 billion COVID-19 recovery deal. Countries around the world right now are going to print money because it is was impossible to replace the intellectual and network capital of an individual, right? So losing an individual life is a tragedy, right? Maybe not to you if you don't know those people, but I know for me, anyone that I've lost in my life, it still beats me up inside today. I'm like, damn. And we know that. We know that everybody we know, ourselves included, will die one day, right? But in the meantime, the intellectual network capital that we hold, the things we're working on, the things that we're building are so important. So they're just going to keep printing. So normally where I think we would see some type of market checks, probably around here at around 10,500, would be a really good spot, which is normally a nice area of the Wyckoff reaccumulation breakout part. So if we look at the Wyckoff chart here too, we've seen these LPS usually dip down to not touch the top of the top of the box, but just close to it. So if we go back to our chart, this would be about here. This would be about the top of that, around 10,500. I do suspect we'll get a little bit of a retracement down to here. As you can see on the Eagle's Nest and both of our stochastic RSI here, we're quite oversold on the daily, but still peaking up. Now, as we break down again a little closer into the minutia of everything here, this is where the story will start to come a little bit more clearly. We're pointing down on the 4-hour on both the stochastic RSI and the Eagle's Nest here above, which is like a moving average. It's basically a MACD with this nice little time frame on it here. So every time you get over one of these lines, the velocity of each of these actually increases, right? So keep an eye on where we're at here, because if we test this $10,500 area, which is also our 50 moving average on the 4-hour, and I believe it's a 21. It's our 9 on the daily. So our 9 moving average on the daily and our 50 moving on the 4-hour. This is going to be pretty important to check. This blue line right here around 10,500. So we'll keep an eye on that. But all in all, I'm actually very bullish just because they're going to keep printing money. Now, that took me a little while to grasp, but I actually believe we're witnessing real-time inflation. The other thing I think we're going to witness is actually a rush to the dollar. Look, the dollar is not going to fail first. It will be the very, very last to fail. So even though, everything's set up, here, I'll open the DXY here. We'll jump around a little bit. Thank you guys all for give us a thumbs up, right? All the love that you give us is super grateful for that. I'm such a random show. I don't do any editing. Just jump online, press record, and see where it takes me. So I appreciate the freedom to do that. Here we see on the DXY, this is the dollar chart again for those of you that don't know. We might come down to test. It's actually hard to say. I don't think we're going to go too much lower than 88 here at this point. I do suspect that other currencies around the world will start to fail first, like the euro, or here where I am in Costa Rica, or the countless other currencies around the world that are just borrowing money. Again, because that's the best replacement for the fact that we don't really have any easy way to get through this. Other than everyone working together. So there's it's a big hope of mine that we all really figure out a better way to work together through all of this. But that's, I guess, besides the point. From an investment standpoint, though, I want to take a look at Ethereum as well and just compare these two. Now, I was confused by Ethereum for quite some time. It took one of the private bear members, for those of you that don't know, join our private newsletter. Woohoo! It's awesome. If you want a refund, we'll give one to you and no questions asked, because I don't really care. If you're unhappy, I don't really care. I'll just give you your money back. It's not worth having you in there then. Anyways, the point of this is one of the private bear den members pointed something out to me that I had not yet recognized, which is that your Ethereum has a huge US dollar on-ramp. So let's look at the Wyckoff model in this sequence as well. So I took some longs out at 249. Now I've been playing with, for those of you that were on our live show yesterday, I did kind of jet out and I deleted that episode, but I did make an assertion here that I was going to try to prove a point of mine by doing something that I believed is quite consistent in the venture capital world, which is I took a 10x on Ethereum here. I normally never trade with leverage that high. Don't do that. I don't suggest you do that ever, unless you don't mind losing money potentially, and you like the potential rewards that are behind it. So here we were watching this Wyckoff reaccumulation chart. Now, I love these things. This has become a huge part of my trading mentality. I use it every time and look every time now. I try to figure out where we are in the reaccumulation period. Now, I took a 10x long here on Ethereum. So that basically means I took one Ethereum out at $319 and I went 10x on it. So I got about 16 Ethereum at that time, because again, it's 10x versus the US dollar price of Ethereum. It's not like just 10x of Ethereum. It's Ethereum versus USDT or Binance USD or Tether USD, whatever the different versions of stable coins there happen to be on this trading. So far, what's interesting here is you can see, okay, at 12% at a 10x, we've already made 100%, right? So with the one Ethereum that we put in, we're already up another $320 or $360 at this point, essentially, because I did buy the Ethereum itself, not US dollars or the US dollar stable coin. So what I'm trying to prove here is a point, and I wanted to do it because most people that make videos, I'm assuming they probably don't do a lot of the trades that they're talking about. I make every trade I'm talking about. Otherwise, I don't think I'm providing you anything valuable. I might as well just trade. I might as well just talk about anything random, right? So I try to make this stuff as useful and as reliable as possible for those of you that appreciate this niche quality content. So we took this 10x, right? Now let's take, so I'm already at 100%. A 10% move yielded 100% gain already in 2 days. So that's pretty spectacular. But what I'm trying to prove here is, again, this point. Think about it this way. So now I effectively purchased 21 Ethereum or something like this, 16 to 21. I don't remember. I have to check. Something like, let's just go 20. It's a nice even round number. I got 20 Ethereum for the price of one, essentially, at that moment, right? And here we go. What happens if we run to $500? It's a 57% gain from our entry. That would mean we'd have 5 times 10, right? That's how leverage trading works. Now, on the bright side, to leverage trading, you can use like venture capital effectively, right? So you can say, I'm going to limit my investment size. And if it goes to zero, I lost my position, right? I lost the $319 I paid for the one Ethereum to buy 10 or 10. I think 10 sounds like a better number. It's a 10x account. We'll just go with that. Even though it's in US dollars, I don't want to explain myself. It's 10 Ethereum. Let's just keep it simple. So if we run to 500, which is pretty likely at this moment. So again, I'm jumping around here, guys. I apologize. I hope you don't mind. Here you can see just this little glimmer of we'll call it a wall at around 460. This is where I think we're going to next, around $500 US for Ethereum. But we're at the last little trail end of this break at around 360, 380 before it goes and just jumps to 400 or 500. So keep a close eye on that. But again, a 50% gain times 10 is a huge move, right? So at that point, I will effectively made again, 5 Ethereum in the course of just a few days with limiting my investment size. Now, One of the things I was not too privy of in 2017, I was trying to sell all my shit. I was like, I'm trying to sell my drum kit. I sold my motorcycle. I'm like just trying to get capital to buy more Bitcoin. But you can just take out a margin loan from Binance. Didn't need to sell all my shit. If you're confident about a move that's coming, why not try margin? Not investment advice. Do not do anything I do. Do your own thing. But me personally, I think that this move here, and I think we might even catch it here online right now. We're at $362 for Ethereum. This is important to keep an eye on, because if you can use leverage like a loan, you can, and if you're very, very, very sure about that, you can do really well off of a very small trade. I'm probably going to turn, look, let's say Ethereum goes to $1,000, right? And we've got 10 Ethereum. So I've effectively turned $300 into $10,000 if Ethereum goes to $1,000 from that original entry. So I'm just going to leave it open. I'm going to leave that trade open as an example for what I think you can do with venture capital if you are on the right side of the trade. Now, again, I do have a stop loss set, and we'll have to zoom into the 15-minute just to even see this little bar here. I do have a stop loss set at around, I think 310, yeah, at the bottom of the box here, just as a precautionary measure, because I think everyone should follow a trade strategy. And if you're not using a stop loss when you're trading, you're not trading correctly. In terms of investment, that's a different idea. Just buy, just keep buying every month, every week, every 2 weeks, whatever you can do. Just keep buying more. That's an investment strategy. Trading is a little bit different. So if you're not using a stop loss and trading, you're not trading, you're just investing. Yeah, maybe that's a good way to look at it. So as a trader, I use a stop loss on all of my trades, even if I'm not afraid to lose that $320. But look, effectively, guys, again, we're up 14, 15, moving on 15%. I've already turned that $300 into 600 essentially, right? And or to Ethereum, and it'll probably go up. I suspect that this will continue to go up to around 500 in the next 24 to 48 hours. So I just wanted to quickly go over that. Thank you guys for putting up with all the craziness. Here's something exciting. Fetch, and I should have gotten rid of some of the noise of the stochastic RSI. Big fan of Fetch here, guys. I made a mistake that I want to point out for all of you that are in the private bear den. Look here, you'll recognize it as I start to show you, and it's funny. So here was our Wyckoff accumulation, but look, I started this in March. This was the small Wyckoff accumulation. So as we zoom out, this actually turns into a much bigger Wyckoff accumulation phase, right? So we can see here that we were actually just looking at the very bottom of the box. The reason why Fetch has been such a moon boy trade for us this month is because of the specifics behind the idea that we got in right at the bottom of phase C and phase D, right? So if we were to redraw this here, you can say this was phase C, and then phase D was this massive character change that we saw coming out and leaving the box. Now, one of the things I've always been really interested in is the relationship between one, CELR, and Fetch, because it's the same whale, same comp man playing this game. So here you can see, if we zoom in, and I'll just remove these, you can see how I charted this. Here was the top of the box, here was the bottom of the box, here was the breakout, here was the character change, and a multiple 100% run out of that. But just as for Harmony, as we saw with Fetch, that's to the top of the box for phase D. So I'm extremely bullish on Fetch, one, CELR. XLM I still have in my trade. BAT I did get stopped out at 2,500 here. So here was my entry at 2,700. I got stopped out at 25-ish right here. This thick line probably around 2,500. Yeah, on the dot pretty much. So I did get stopped out of my BAT trade, but I'm still in my XLM trade. I did take some of the profits at my first profit target area here, and we're seeing a nice 6% run on XLM towards the top of the 9-day moving average. So what I wanted to point out is that look, we're witnessing multiple composite mans, right? We're witnessing multiple whales. The whale that's in XLM is a different whale that's in one, Fetch, and CELR. So I hope that makes sense. That the reason why Fetch did so well for us is because we got in right at the very bottom of phase C, and now it's turned into a much larger form here, just like we see on Harmony as well. So again, I think these are going to do really, really well over the next few years. Fetch specifically, for those of you that don't know, go do your homework. I'll be releasing some fundamental research behind this stuff more often for the private bear den. So again, if you guys want to join the private bear den, go to the links below. It's $30 a month. Join the group. see if you like it. If you don't, you get a refund, right? It says no risk. That's a pretty easy trade, right? No risk. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you guys all for joining us today. I appreciate the fact that, again, I can run around with all this crazy content, and you guys are always supportive of, I don't get to do any nice edits. Like, I just press record and I see where it takes me. Sometimes the internet doesn't work well. Sometimes things take longer. And because of that, because I don't have to spend too much time or energy focusing on all the specifics, I know that you guys are really interested in the data of the content, instead of like, oh, you didn't like use a fade swipe, or like you didn't zoom in with where you're looking at. If you're doing your homework, if you're doing your due diligence, you will know what I'm talking about without me having to zoom in on some shit to like keep you engaged and keep your entertainment. And for those of you that have that depth of engagement for quality, thank you. I really appreciate it. This is Tio with the Arcane Bear. I'm signing off for today, and we will see you again tomorrow. Actually, I have a music post for you guys, so stay tuned for that. I recorded a song and I'm going to share it with you because I think everyone could use a little bit more calm in their life.